Hi YouTube, it's Kalandra again. First of all, thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to all of you who have viewed my previous vlogs and videos. Thank you to my Facebook family and my friends who have given me such encouragement to continue doing these vlogs. I don't know where it's going to lead, but so far I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Tonight I want to talk about careers, and this might be a two-parter. We'll see where it goes. What inspired me today was actually I had my annual performance review at work, and I had a really good review. I have been working for a major medical center in New York City for the past 17 years, and I've been blessed to be in different positions and moved up in the organization. I started out as a temp secretary. It was supposed to be a 3-week job, and my boss and mentor, who is still my boss, after going through other iterations of bosses and going in other departments, I ended back up with her. We've both excelled or rather advanced in the organization, and she saw something in me and knew that I wanted to do something else. And she asked me questions, and I told her, yeah, I'm going to grad school, I want to do health administration. And she pulled me into the organization, and 17 years later I'm a manager of business administration for our campus, and I work for her, and she is now the senior vice president and chief operating officer for our campus. So we've both been able to move up, and as she moves up, she kind of pulls me with her, and she is just a great mentor. And even 17 years later, she's still mentoring me, and she's helping me to mentor others as well. So I wanted to talk about careers because some really nice things came out of my evaluation. My boss and I are, on the record, I have the utmost respect for her, always have, and she has respect for me. We have a great working relationship, and even on a personal level, I mean, she came to my wedding and my wedding shower, and she's always encouraging me with my children, and so she's always really been there for me. So we have a great relationship in work and outside of work, but know the professional boundaries. But we had a great conversation, and I just wanted to share some of those things because there was some wisdom there that I would like to share with others. This vlog is really going to be about careers, and I think that there will be parts of it that people who are in school, in high school, going to college, I hope there's a few snippets that you can get from me in this vlog or this series of videos. And then those of you who are in the workforce, have been in the workforce for a while, I hope that something's helpful to you here. I was, when I went to college, I went to Hofstra University, go Hofstra Pride, in Long Island, and I was a bio major. I loved biology. I wanted to be a doctor all my life. And somewhere in sophomore year, the day that I picked up my registration packet for junior year, I got hit by a bolt of lightning on the way from the registrar's office to my dorm room, and something said, I don't want to go to med school. And it scared me. It frightened me because I didn't know what I was going to do. And I knew that when I got home that weekend and told my parents that I did not want to go to med school, I needed to have plan B in place. And that's one thing that ever since that day I have preached from the mountaintops. Always have plan B. And if you can, have plan C in the back of your mind. Because my parents were of the philosophy that our money is a terrible thing to waste. And they told me when I first started school, you got 4 years. After that, you pay on your own. So Kalandra was going to make sure she graduated in 4 years. I worked it all out, and I decided to teach. So I took education classes, and I graduated, and after having student taught my senior year in high school, I decided that that was not my calling either. Shouts out to all my teacher friends. I love you. God bless you for being the educators that you are. You definitely are working in your calling. I would not have been. Fortunately, when I graduated, I talked to a friend of mine in Rochester who was just finishing up her MBA in health administration. And I had never thought about getting an MBA because I didn't have any experience in business. But that was my plan C, basically. So I said, I'm just going to find a job. I worked for a year at a company that I had been working for in the summertime just to say that I had a job and pay some bills. but I knew that that was not something I was going to do long term. So I just signed up with a temp agency, ended up getting a job at my current hospital, and the boss that I'm working for now was my boss then. We've gone through a couple of different bosses. I didn't work for her the whole time, but I actually started as her temp secretary. It was I think it was going to be a 3-month assignment, and she talked to me and wanted to know what kind of things I was interested in. I told her I wanted to go to grad school. I told her what I wanted to do. I wanted to get into health administration, and she, being the mentor that she is, just pulled me under her wing, had an opening, pulled me in the organization as a patient rep, and 17 years later she's moved up in the organization. She's a senior VP and COO of our campus. I'm the business manager for the campus, and I work directly for her. And I ended up, after a couple of years of being separated, I think out of the 17 years I've been at the hospital, I've worked for her all but about 3 years. Halfway through, I worked in another area. But she's still mentoring me, and I'm trying to mentor others. So my performance review today was really cool, and we talked about some things that were really significant. One of the things that, when I started working at the hospital, I was 24. Okay, y'all do the math. I was 24, 23, 24, and I was really interested in the career, and I learned a lot over the years. I think I've came through about 4 different promotions in the 17 years I've been there, and I've been able to learn a lot. I opened my eyes to things. I got to know people, but I was still quite shy. And one thing that I shared with my boss today was, after 17 years, I no longer fear anything at that job. I had a major hospital-wide project that I led last year that went extremely well. I had a great team. I was terrified because I knew there were politics involved, but because I was able to get through it, it really boosted my confidence. So I would say to those of you who are in your careers and feeling kind of like, ugh, I don't know if I'm doing okay, you're doing better than you think you are. Find yourself a mentor if you don't have one already. I was really blessed to have someone who I'm still learning from. And as I get older and she gets older, we're more like colleagues now than boss and employee. And so she shares with me some things that I don't you think that because people are over you that they don't understand you, or that you don't share anything in common, but you'd be surprised. Some of them have I don't want to say insecurities, but have some of the same issues that you might have. I think that I want to continue this vlog, so I'm going to leave you hanging in suspense. So stay tuned to part 2 of my vlog on careers. See you soon.